It has been a challenging year, to say the least. What's been fascinating to me is the legacy carriers that I work with across the life and the health and the P&C space have been able to pivot, and they've adjusted well to this change. All of them have remote workforces. Their productivity is just as strong as it used to be. I think ultimately where companies are right now is that A, they're figuring out what is their model going to look like when we all return. B, when we return, is it everyone back to the office, or is it only a certain segment of employees? Or C, is the future of work now, right? And is it a virtual first approach? So you're talking to someone that's been traveling for 25 years as a retained executive search consultant. And for 25 years, it's been me on an airplane 4 days a week, going to meet clients, going to interview candidates. And while I love that interaction, I realized a couple of years ago that things were changing and we had to figure out digital for ourselves. And I think if you look at the sales function, it's completely changed. I'm constantly talking to insurance executives, C-level insurance executives from across all lines of insurance. And the one thing that I'm telling these executives that they have to do is they have to understand personal branding, and they have to understand becoming visible. Because just like insurance companies are figuring out digital for themselves, I think executives have to figure out digital for themselves, because I don't believe we're going back to the way that we used to do business. I really think that that has changed forever. I think companies are realizing they can save a lot of money without putting sales forces on airplanes to go out and have a meeting and stay in a hotel in New York and go out for a great dinner, when they can do the majority of their meetings virtual. If you would have told me in March of last year that I would have been as busy as I am during a global pandemic, I would have laughed at you. And I've invested a lot of time and effort in creating my own digital profile. And that has really allowed me to continue to actually double my business that I have in the past years. They have to figure out ways to engage that talent, recruit them to their company, and realize that these employees have choices and they don't have to go to work for your company. And so insurance companies are realizing that, they have to be a little bit more flexible. They have to get with the times right now and realize that, the war for talent is over and talent has won. And talent is ultimately going to make the decision who they go to work for. So they have to change 300 years of doing business in the old way to attract and retain that talent that they need to allow them to compete in the future. But that talent that I'm talking about, it's expensive, it's in demand, and quite frankly, they don't understand the insurance industry. So if you go out and you bring someone from outside of the insurance industry, you have to have the ability to translate why it's such an exciting industry to be in. And to be quite honest with you, I think the insurance industry must do a much better job of demonstrating why insurance is such an exciting industry to be in going forward. Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. There are super talented people all across the insurance industry. There are people that understand that the industry has to change and it has to be disrupted from inside. And the challenge ultimately is two fronts, right? Attracting that talent to the insurance industry that we talked about, because the insurance industry has to do a better job of telling people why it's an exciting industry to get into. But then ultimately making sure your legacy organization, everyone that's in that organization understands how important it is to allow these people to succeed.